So Doom got weird. Let's talk. Doom, The Dark Ages, is faster than 2016, but slower than Eternal and deeply committed to making you hunt for secrets. Some of it's brilliant, some of it should have been a design meeting that ended 10 minutes earlier. And if you're here for another Eternal... Sorry. If you're new here, hi, I'm Squid. I cover action and shooter titles, and the name of the game here is maximum meaningful info with minimum reaction faces. You want to know whether Doom, The Dark Ages is worth your time? Let's go. Not Eternal, not 2016, still Doom. Let's just get this out of the way. Like I said, this isn't Doom Eternal 2.0. It's not 2016 Doom either, though. It's the slightly broody middle child of the two, who's in his medieval phase. Movement is heavier, but not clunky. Think deliberate. You're not double dashing into an air tech, into weapon swaps like a tween added out of their gourd, but you're not slow. It's measured, more about weight and timing and flow than acrobatics. If you try to play it like Eternal, it'll feel wrong, you'll have a bad time. But once you adjust, the rhythm settles in, and when it does, it works. Parries or perish. Mid to late game really leans hard into parries. You either time things correctly, or you die. It's that kind of party. You remember the Halo 3 grunt that was yelling, "Tank beats everything"? Now it's parry beats everything, including tanks. It's kind of like Sekiro in Returnal did a collaboration in Hell and forgot to tell the Slayer, and I was absolutely here for it. Every fight become this unconscious little puzzle box. Spacing, reaction, and what if I kicked this demon into his own spleen? All happening before I even realized I'd moved. But if you were here hoping for another pure power fantasy, shoot, glory kill, repeat, this might feel like someone bolted timing puzzles onto your murder simulator. You've been warned. All right, so the guns. All are viable. Some are more equal than others. Impaler, Cycler, Ravager, all excellent in my opinion after you get them upgraded a bit. They're crunchy, just pure overkill. It's satisfying. Super Shoddy, still the king. Rocket launcher, oh, it's great. You are likely to murder yourself as often as demonic baddies until you dump points in, so don't sleep on early upgrades. You'll feel it if you do. Everything's fun to use when it's doing what it's meant to. Just don't expect perfect balance across the board. Runs great, sounds weird, looks expensive. Overall, The Dark Ages runs beautifully. You can expect 60 plus FPS at 1440 on most modern builds. On my 7800 X3D and 4090, I was getting around 110 with everything maxed while recording without frame gen. With frame gen, it held a clean 144 with no ghosting or meaningful input lag. Motion blur is still awful, but that's a genre-wide affliction that deserves to be treated like wet socks or notifications from that ex you'd really prefer didn't keep finding new ways of texting you. That's always off, by the way. And if you've never experienced Trenchfoot or your ex's notifications, keep it that way. Sound effects, excellent. Music, technically fine. Emotionally tepid, perhaps. Mick Gordon's absence is a presence. Also, someone somewhere decided that the music should duck under gunfire and other sound effects. It's not broken, it's just kind of weird. It's visually very pretty, solid art design. It's a little bit if Painkiller and Halo went to 40K. I'm a fan. Ray-traced glory kills are excessive and glorious, as they should be, even if they are a bit more sparse this go around just because of the number of enemies we're fighting. There's lore? There's more story this time. It's serviceable, it's not intrusive, it's not existentially compelling. It exists, and that's fine. Demonic intrigue, vague prophecies, ancient cults. You've seen the trailer. You're still Doom guy. The plot exists mostly to give you something to punch through. That said, if someone makes Captain Doomerica, the Exterminatus edition, I will fund the Kickstarter myself to the detriment of all of my bank and credit accounts. Yeah. Alright, map time. Your fun is on break. Combat puts you in a flow state where nothing exists but speed, timing, and meat explosions. No perfect rhythm, no blinking, just focused ultra-violence that should come with a coupon for Visine. And then the game slams the brakes and asks you to go secret hunting. Now, these are not bonus secrets technically, they are mandatory upgrades. If you don't explore, you fall behind. So unless you're down to run a gimped loadout for the rest of the game, you better channel your inner cartographer. It's kind of a tonal whiplash that really shows on the bigger maps, the ones with the branching paths and the chained arenas. It feels like Misc, but if Misc had grenades and worse sightage. You go from flowing through violence to kind of aimlessly wandering for that one glowing wall panel you missed, and it just feels dissonant. Mechs, dragons, and mild regret. Atlan, dragon. You pilot big things. Yes, they have names. No, I don't care. Neither will you. You pilot a giant suit. You ride a dragon. You dodge things. Then you shoot things. Then you wonder why this part is still going. They're fine enough for the first couple times. Yeah, it's cinematic enough. And then it kind of becomes a rhythm game on rails with slightly improved damage output based on your performance in the rhythm game. They're not broken. They're just momentum killers. You kind of go from Slayer to Spectator and wonder how many more dodge prompts you need before you can clear the thing and then go back to being scary. Now, the middle third problem. The game's biggest flaw, I think, is pacing. Specifically, the middle third. It drags. There's a difficulty spike, then an upgrade grind, then a map sprawl. It really breaks the momentum just as things were getting good. Opening third, tight. Final stretch, excellent. Middle, kind of feels like someone left the game on pause and went to lunch. You might enjoy that, or, you might bounce off and come back 3 days later wondering what the buttons do and why your hands hurt. Final thoughts. So, should you play Doom: The Dark Ages? Well, if you like 2016 and were mostly okay with Eternal, this is a thoughtful evolution. It's slower than Eternal, heavier, occasionally brilliant, and occasionally confusing. If you like parries, environmental reads, and a bit of violence with your rhythm, yeah, you'll probably love it. If you want Eternal 2, this ain't it. If you hate puzzles and map sweeps, be warned. But when it works, and it often does, it feels like Doom again. Just weirder, and maybe a little bit older. Now, if you like reviews that cut the fluff, dodge the outrage, and actually describe what the game feels like to play, do the thing. Click the thumb or the sub button, or don't. I'm not your dad. I'm here offering you advice instead of leaving 12 years ago to get milk and cigarettes. But it does help more people find actual information and see if content that adds for watch time. I've been BaldSquid. Go punch something demonic with far too many teeth.